Hey, hello. This is Stuck in Traffic with Wolf Gorlick. Couple minute riff on IT security. Yesterday we were talking about change management, right? So the idea that, hey, bad things happen, and usually one of the way to know that bad thing happened was a change occurred. Bad things can happen by the bad guys, which is usually about 40% of the time, or bad things can happen by either accident or malicious intent from the good guys, your internal employees will not, about 60% of the time. And both of those can be captured in a change. So ideally, you want to know like when anything changed, and that's always the gut reaction. Tell me anything changed in the environment. I want to know about it right now, so I know if someone's messing around with my network. But the practicality of that is not there, because there's a million changes. And one of the things I mentioned was, hey, fire up, sysinternals, run an application, do normal things within Windows, and look at how many changes there are. Constant changes to the registry, the file system, what have you. So if you think about the overlap of concern and influence, and if you think about the concept of a low information diet, and you apply that to change management, we're getting way too much information, and deploying on change management is a lot of times outside of the influence of many security teams, because to get inside of that, you have to get inside to multiple different IT teams, shadow IT, what have you. An alternate way to approach this is to do continuous control monitoring, also known as continuous compliance checks, compliance scanning, what have you. Basically, you say, here are the things that I care about. Here's my controls, and here are the assets that I know about that are vital and important to me. Tell me when any of these controls change, and also tell me, as part of a life cycle, when assets go out the door, if these assets are missing these key controls. So you define the controls. No, let me give you an example, a better, like really concrete example. Great project I was involved with last year. International firm, the North Americas had this mandate for security. That mandate was driven by ISO 27001-02. That ISO mandate was translated into standards, which are translated into a series of technical controls to support the standards, to support the ISO mandate. Follow me so far? Now, you take these controls and you codify them within rules in a vulnerability scanner. This particular one was Qualys, but you can do a Symantec and any number of tools. So within Qualys, we built out technical checks to confirm the technical controls that map to the standards, that map to the ISO. And then once we had that in place, we put a policy in place as new equipment came on board that would be scanned by this and be onboarded. And all the equipment that was within scope was automatically checked every 2 weeks. So within a 2-week period, if a change occurred on an asset that we cared about, and that change occurred on an asset that we cared about that influenced the control we cared about, we will get alerted and we'll be able to act accordingly. A couple of things come out of that, right? So you're no longer looking at everything, which is good. You're only looking at the things that you care about, which is good. Low information diet. You're able to deploy it through a security function as part of a mandate, which is good. So you've got both the area of concern, what's changing and where, and the area of influence. Can I drive this program forward without having to rely heavily on outside forces? So you get a handle on both of those areas. And this, of course, becomes a first step in change management. I'm not saying don't do change management, but this is an easier way with less spend politically and a lot less spend on manpower trying to review changes than a full-on change management program. And it worked very well. So similarly, you guys can do that as well, determining what is important to you, both in terms of assets and in terms of controls, and monitoring for those changes and reporting on those. So there you go. Something to think about. Cheers.